Right, we're back, and we're still doing the thing with the inventory, but that won't take too much longer.
Yes, it will not take too much longer. Correct.
Unless it does.
The other thing I will say about inventory, you don't necessarily want to fill your packs. When you find stuff, you're going to need to carry it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll want to make sure we have a grappling hook, hammer, and iron spikes among all of us. That'll be useful for climbing.
Mm-hmm.
We already have some rope.
Oh.
Real quick, the precise thing between fresh and preserved rations.
Fresh rations are easier to cook with. Preserved rations, you know what? Let me get to the factoring.
I think you're right. Preserved rations I know don't expire.
Yeah, when you go back to town, the main thing, when you go back to town, any fresh rations you have are fed to the dogs.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
preserved rations will last you longer.
Yeah,
and that's also a twist I can give you. Hey, your fresh rations have spoiled.
Okay.
So we should use up all of our fresh rations right away.
Yep. I brought 1 fresh and 2 preserved, but I'm thinking about removing one of my preserved.
I have 1 fresh in my pouch.
I think I'll do 1 fresh as well.
I'll bring in preserved only then.
I was thinking we might not want that many fresh because I can turn those fresh into 1 fresh if I succeed on the chest will mean everyone gets fed.
Right.
Okay.
So
I
yes,
could do 1 preserved then.
Yeah.
I was correct. A fresh ration is easier to cook than a preserved ration. That is your bonus here.
Switch out 1 of my rations for an empty, packed up right now, small sack, which we can use later.
Yeah, so I have 2 small sacks that take 1 slot, a sentimental item, torches, and preserved rations, and I have a tinderbox in my belt pouch right now.
Okay.
Well, if you
already have 2 small sacks, then I will not go for a small sack. I will go for a grappling hook. We already have one else with a belt.
I think grappling hooks are 2.
Yeah, pack 2 for a grappling hook. Or
hand
carried.
One. Yeah. I'll might carry it for now. If we get in a fight, I'll drop it, and it would be fine unless we're like overworked or something.
Okay. Also, cleric, remember your holy symbol.
Yeah, I have that on my neck. I don't have to worry about prayer supplies yet, though, right? Because I don't have any spells. Or do I need that for the one I have?
You can. Okay, so how supplies work? They are disposable things that will give you an advantage on anything. Any skill can have supplies.
Oh.
I'm going to wait to pick until I know what spell I know.
Yeah.
So
with that, I mean, there are some suggestions in the book as to what supplies are, but
I'm gonna go look it up and read it.
Yeah. But your prayer that you have is basically turn undead, in the classic sense, and that is, the supplies for that are vestments, which would be finery that you're wearing, and surplice, which is you know what? I'll get you an actual definition on surplice because
does anyone have a hammer?
I can take a hammer.
Okay, yeah, take a hammer then.
Surplice is like a cassock. You know that white overshirt that priests wear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't put the crossbow on my belt, even though it's a 2-handed weapon.
Okay, so it looks like supplies, spells, prayers, and nearly any skills can benefit from supplies. Each supply takes up 1 slot, grants +1 die to 1 roll, and is expended after that use.
Yes. I will say with the crossbow, It can be slung, and that would be a torso slot.
Is it really?
Rope, you can do the same thing with. You can sling that like over your shoulders, and it can take up a torso
I'm
slot.
looking at page 57 and it says belt/weapon.
Let's see here.
I think I'm ready to go.
Crossbow, hand carried 2, and belt. Yeah, okay, you can put it on your belt. There you go. Oh, no, on your belt is where you keep your quiver. That's why that's there.
Right, it's an and,
Mhm.
not an or.
Oh,
so your
and
belt weapon slot is for your quiver of
Okay.
bolts.
right.
Yeah.
Do we have a tinderbox between us?
I have a tinderbox.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't really have like any dungeoneering-y things. I have
I have
two
a bunch
free
of
slots
oil.
in my backpack, but I don't. I might take a prayer supply.
Bird supplies, it looks like you can wear them on your hands as well. So that's 2 extra spaces if you have nothing else on there.
It depends on what the skill is, and what the supplies actually are.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And you have to specify that when you have them.
Or it's dependent on the spell.
Yes and no. I mean, if for your prayers, look at the entry on your character sheet, and it should say what it is. For that, it would be if you have like surplice on, it would be a torso slot that you have that on. Finery, I believe, takes up 2 torso slots. I want to
It takes up a
say.
lot. It takes up 3 actually, or pack 4. It's like a bunch of stuff. Torso worn 3 or pack 4 for finery.
Yeah.
Oh, holy crap! Finery.
Yeah.
I need finery.
No finery.
If
You
you
need finery?
if you want to use it as, and that is not that does not be expended, but if you want to use it for your prayer supplies, yes. Because basically you're going through the ritual of having all that stuff on and being the
Okay.
priest.
Yeah, it'll take up extra
Listen.
inventory space. We don't have to
And
buy anymore.
if I have finery, I can't have a backpack
Yeah.
or armor. Wow,
Ouch.
not worth it.
Not for 1 die.
Well, we can, but
we
you have to keep it in your
definitely-
backpack.
We definitely need fancy dungeon clothes.
It'd be half my backpack as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pack 4. Yeah.
We need to go to town. We need to find the Diablo loot chest.
One thing, if you get to level 2 of this, you can start hiring hirelings to, carry stuff for you, laborers and whatnot.
Yep.
So that makes this a little bit easier.
That'll take at least 3 sessions, though.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take a large sack full of mirrors, and we can dump them out when we want.
Okay.
I have 1 slot left.
Just wait till they all break.
That's fine.
Wait, are you being serious?
I'm being serious. I have 1 slot
We have
left.
mirrors.
What do you think we
Why?
need?
Why do we need that many mirrors?
I'm going to
See,
sell
you're
the
not actually wrong,
mirrors.
because when you get back to town, mirrors sell for a fair amount.
You can only sell things in town if they're like resources 3 or higher or something.
That's what a mirror
mirrors
is
do
Sell
for.
stuff we have.
Yeah, mirrors
unless
do count for
it
that.
was given us. The only thing is those things we got in circles that will give us anything for resources.
Yeah, mirrors actually are worth enough that you can sell them. However,
Yeah.
they are breakable.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving me a large sack of twist right now.
Yes. Get it.
Jingle. Okay. But you still have a spare thing.
I have a spare slot. What do you guys think we need? Garlic?
Garlic, I don't think so. Not
I,
initially, at
I
least.
want to keep a few spare slots, like for stuff.
Sure, but
Yeah.
like
Stuff.
I can throw out mirrors when they break and put more stuff in
True.
the pack.
You can throw out some mirrors. Yeah, he's saying he has an empty pack of stuff for
Yeah.
the future. I'm
I'm gonna let you game the system on this one. But
You could pick iron spikes.
thin ice, my friend. Thin
Yes.
You could, yeah, you could pick iron spikes. You could pick stakes and a mallet. Those are all
Yep.
pack 1.
Let me check. Do I need mallets for iron spikes?
Wolfsbane only is against werewolves, right? Not actual regular wolves. Because if it's against both, that would be kind of nice.
No, Wolfsbane is good for getting rid of werewolves.
Okay. We only have 1 rope, but rope is pack 2 unless you wear it, in which case it's only 1.
Mhm.
But that is 50 feet of rope.
I could
Yeah,
That's
it
a
is.
substantial amount of rope.
I could ditch
We
my
don't want
shield and take a helmet instead, and then I would be able to take rope.
You can't carry rope. It's either worn 1 or pack 2.
It's pack 2. I mean, there's 2 slots. If I get a helmet instead of a shield, I'll have 2
Oh, you've got your
slots
shield
my
in
bag.
your backpack.
Yeah,
I
because
see.
I'm carrying the
did?
large sack.
Okay.
I'm carrying a large sack.
Oh, I see. I thought the mirror's in your backpack. Okay.
No, I'm carrying a sack full of mirrors. I'm a mirror salesman.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go through your sheets
Feel free
here
if you
and
wish to.
see what we got.
We have a tinderbox already.
Yeah, we have a tinderbox. We have a hammer. We have a grappling hook. I have that. We have plenty of candles and lantern. I have a lantern. I have oil for the lantern.
I have
You have
torches.
extra oil? Okay,
You have
good.
torches as well. I have a bunch of extra oil.
Alright.
So I think we're fine. So you can do that if you'd like to.
And I have a big sword.
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep the shield, and I'm going to go with iron spikes.
Sith, just because I'm looking at your backpack right now.
I might reorganize that.
Okay, just making sure, because
Yeah.
the stuff on the top is easier to get to. So
I was just writing it right now, but I'll probably reorganize it so that the Russians aren't on the bottom.
probably a good idea.
Okay.
All right, just gotta.
The only question now is how much damage does a large sack do full of mirrors?
No one forget to give yourself some fucking shoes.
That's
Yeah,
true.
everyone write down shoes on your feet. I don't think there's really anything else you can start with. So.
And funny that the warrior from Laresia should mention that, because there's a law in your hometown that says no one should ever dress above their station.
Awesome.
All right, so
Next.
are we good on equipment? Final
I think
call.
I'm gonna
I
put
am.
a cloak in my backpack as well.
Okay.
Sir Elf, there is a random table for starting
Yes.
spells.
Yes, there is. Let's find out which
Please.
one I get.
Please click on said table.
7, exactly
Oh.
average.
I
Oh,
think you're
yeah.
supposed to
I went through the trouble of making a table and you roll.
Sorry, I didn't know that.
So
Eldritch Darts are actually quite good. It was the magic missile of spells.
you got Eldritch Darts.
I got Eldritch Darts.
Okay.
So for those who know, basically when we are fighting, for one fight, I will be able to use Eldritch Darts instead of my weapon. I'll be able to use my Arcana skill instead of my fighter skill. Unfortunately, they're identical at this time. However, I have a backpack, which means technically my Arcana skill is actually better because my fighter skill is reduced due to wearing a backpack. So yeah.
That would actually apply. That penalty would apply.
Would it?
Yeah, because you're fighting. You're using Arcana as fighter, so anything that would apply to fighter applies to that.
My Arcana exponent as my fighter skill, not my
Yes.
using the actual Arcana skill.
Well, in terms of like advancement and stuff, you're still using Arcana, but anything that would apply to fighter would apply to Arcana in that instance.
Okay. Cool.
All right, that's done. Cleric, we went over your prayer, so we're good with that. Alignment. Choose from one of the 3 alignments. Law represents the forces of progress, order, and civilization. Chaos represents the forces of freedom, entropy, and savagery. Unaffiliated. For those who think having shelter, food, and family is more important than ideals and ideologies.
I'm gonna go with chaos.
Oh,
I think my character is very big on freedom, and if that makes her a ruthless savage, then so be it.
Yeah, same here.
That's 2 for chaos.
I'm actually tempted to be chaos as well, but not in like a different type of way. In more of a, he is for like the wild, like the primeval stuff type of thing. He's not like, he's not selfish. So I don't know if that would be unaffiliated. He's selfless, but it's kind of weird.
Well, just
I'm totally
being
law.
You're totally the law. Okay. So being chaotic does not necessarily equate to being a bad person.
Okay.
Hippies are chaotic.
Yeah.
You know,
Right, it says the
Yeah.
forces of freedom, entropy, and savagery.
yeah.
I was almost on board with law. I was reading these first time, and I was like, wait, I actually have to read what it's actually describing here. And I don't think so.
Yep.
Chaos for
And
me.
unaffiliate is for those who think having shelter, food, and family is more important than ideals and ideologies.
Yeah, then what the fuck are you doing in a dungeon? Get out of here.
Well, but unaffiliated is basically Bilbo Baggins, right? I mean,
Yeah. So
You're here to get food, money for your family.
yeah.
Right, or some dumb wizard extorted you.
Yeah, I am chaotic good, though that isn't a thing. I am chaos.
so it's chaos. So 3 chaos and a law. All right,
Now,
cleric.
just checking.
And it's the guy healing you that's going to be opposed in alignment to you. So you
I just
may not want to
be
screw
100%
around too much.
sure.
Yeah.
The
In my
Elflands, in the
defense.
Elflands, it is illegal to belong to a chaos or law cult. That's different from having the alignment, though, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
If you belong to some kind of organized chaos or law establishment, that's
Okay.
a bad thing for them. But if you just represent
Okay.
those things in your daily life, that's
so
not
even
so
if
bad.
it's officially recognized, it's still technically a cult.
By the
As
elf
far as-
standards, yes. According
Yeah,
to the elves.
as far as the elves are concerned, yes.
Okay, fair.
So yeah, you may want to hide your cleric hood if you ever go to the elf home.
You may, yeah. Yeah.
Or don't. It'll be fun.
Well, no, you go where the heretics are, so you can go and convert them. You don't stay where our people
Oh yeah,
are already converted.
Yeah,
that'll go
totally.
over well.
That'll go well. Yeah. See, that's what I tried to do, and that's how I made my enemy cleric.
All right, so everyone has an alignment. Next come beliefs, instincts, and goals. Now, these aren't as in depth as Burning Wheel type beliefs, instincts, and goals.
Yeah.
It's not that
Well,
much.
Beliefs are different than Burning Wheel beliefs.
Well, they can be. They're much more general in how I interpret them.
Yes.
Let me actually get to the beliefs thing so we can go over them.
Yeah.
Looks like page 19.
Oh, I thought there was like an extended one toward the back.
Oh,
There
there
is an
might be.
General, yeah.
But while you're finding that, I can read the little blurb on 19.
Yeah.
Beliefs are
you
like
have
general
a
philosophy.
You have a
here we go.
philosophy, code, or belief that guides you, something that drives you, perhaps in desperation, to seek wealth or adventure. Invent one for your character and write it in on your character sheet in the indicated area. If you invoke that belief in play, if it guides your action and gets your character into trouble, then you earn a reward at the end of the session.
Yes.
If your belief creates
So-
a crisis of conscience during play and you betray your own belief, you earn another type of reward.
All right, so beliefs in Torchbearer are more along the lines of, and these are the examples from the book here on page 106. I am the bulwark that stands between my friends and harm. There's naught but blood and treasure, spent and earned. The wise consider all angles before making a decision. Keep your spirits and head high, and good things will happen. Care and thought will take one further than reckless action, or I'll do whatever it takes to get ahead in this world, and I'll wear a smile doing it. So, much more ideological than mission-oriented. And this is something that you're going to want to be able to role-play effectively in any given situation that you're going to encounter in a dungeon.
Yep.
So if you have some kind of guiding belief in mind for your character, write it down here and let us know what it is. And these can change at the beginning or the end of a session.
We're
Just
gonna
so that's-
start in a dungeon or next to a dungeon.
We're gonna start at the
Yeah.
entrance of the dungeon, right?
Here is where I should give you some scenario stuff. All right, so the overview of the scenario. You guys have been contracted. How this place works a bit. This little fishing village of Urham down here is pretty much cut off during the winter. This road here washes out. Due to that fact, it is sort of a hiding place for anybody that's like being pursued by the law. You know, you get there before winter and no one can really get to you, and they'll usually just let it go by the time spring rolls around. But just because of that, the fishing village is not cut off from the rest of the kingdom. Loresia does send supplies and stuff. Waygrove sends merchants down that road. And it's about you're going to be starting at about the second month of spring, and all of the supplies that have been sent that way have been waylaid and taken by bandits. In desperation, you have been contracted to figure out who's doing this and why, because no one else has been able to this point.
Okay.
The pay for this will be fairly good because you're basically saving a town. So something. Oops. So those 3 X's are where it is known that caravans have been taken out.
Okay.
Okay.
And you've asked around and stuff. It seems that most of the attacks have come like from the south here, from the west here, and from the west here.
So
So
like
you
in the
know
direction of that big black area.
Yeah, so you know that black area is probably prime for finding out what's going on. You also know that that's in the middle of a swamp.
Mhm.
Oh, so we start at the Red X. We're actually starting off right next to a town.
Yeah, you're starting. We're gonna pick up as you leave Waygrove, having filled your packs and ready to go.
Okay.
Okay.
So it doesn't make sense to try and sell things. I bought a bunch of mirrors in that town. I'm gonna walk around the marsh and bring them back and sell them. That doesn't make any sense.
Pantheons and deities.
Yes, the Lord.
They're handled in kind of an abstract. The lords tend to represent concepts or domains in the
Okay.
typical D&D sense. If you encounter specific named deities, it's usually because that they ascended with a living memory. And over the next generation or two, they'll just be kind of lumped in with the rest of the lords.
Yeah. So lords are create our mortals who have ascended.
The most generic way to handle a cleric is that you worship all types of lords. You're not devoted to one particular type, but you
So
can
that's totally
be.
an accepted
That's-
thing.
Yeah.
Check out what I've written in my belief and see if that jives with what you're saying.
Okay. Yes.
Now, if we want to, that aspect seems to be fairly easy to change. It's not super tied down to even the cleric spells, is it?
Sorry, repeat that.
Sorry, while I was talking, I was trying to get my sock with this dog's mouth. That aspect of the lore is not super tied in to the cleric's abilities. If Sith does want that to change or switch it up a bit.
Yes, it is the
I'm
purview
totally cool
of
with it. Yeah.
it is the purview of the character to define what the lords mean to them.
Okay.
I'm not gonna step on any toes there.
Cool.
This belief,
It's unfinished. I need an action for it.
yeah. If it's a good start. Point it a little bit, and you're good.
Okay, yeah. The point is going to be and I will give
Yeah.
I think because we definitely want to keep our beliefs separate from our goals in this one.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Beliefs will be more role playing cues than, and sort of look to your belief to make a decision if you don't know what the hell you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to point it if that works. We haven't set them yet, so
Yeah. That totally works.
I'm gonna leave my
Good.
belief kind of vague. Everyone deserves the freedom to make their own way in life. My instinct's gonna be always hiding the back. I want my goal to relate to somebody else. I need
Well,
to learn more
instincts,
about
I-
your beliefs.
instincts are hugely important.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
delve into
yeah.
that. Don't move on to instincts yet.
My belief is the only reason these heathens and uncivilized brutes are uncultured is they have not yet heard the word of the lords. I will be the
this should
voice
be
for
good.
these words.
Okay. There is no true knowledge, no true sight, no true hearing without the eternal symphony, which is the belief of the elves.
Do you have that point it towards anything?
No, that's the belief, and I think
Okay.
that usually is, I think, how they usually go. But my
Yeah, I mean-
goal is, yeah.
I was just gonna say the thing I can equate that to is the example here. The wise consider all angles before making a decision. It's not necessarily a specific action you have to point to, but it helps to have a direction in which you can point to that belief and say that's where I was doing this.
Yeah.
So Sith, yeah, it did. Yours didn't have to be as specific as I'm going to proselytize to people, but it had to. There had to be something in there that made it more than just an ideology in that respect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. So I can make it a little more vague.
Oh yeah.
It's like Zen, your character in Burning Wheels believe the strong the strong becomes on the backs on the backs of the weak or something.
Yeah, the strong become so on the backs of the weak. That's a
that
perfect
is a,
Torchbearer belief.
Exactly. Without any of the other stuff that usually it leads on to.
Yeah, because you're not trying to get persona out of this. You can only get paid out of it.
Well, you are. You get persona by betraying this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not written on the Torchbearer Roll20 sheet, but yeah, you get fate from playing it and persona from betraying it.
So it's basically a mode breaker.
Mode breaker is still a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah, my belief is I'm the strongest person in any given room. I dare you to prove me wrong.
That's a good belief. Yeah.
That is a very good belief. And I like how it's worded.
All right, so we've got beliefs. Let's move on to instincts, and then we'll go to goals because goals are more tied into the scenario than instincts are.
Yep.
Now, instincts are action macros, basically. the optimum way to use instincts, in my opinion, is to say, I always do this when this happens. So I always cook a meal when we set camp, or I always check for traps before picking a lock.
Yeah.
So since I'm the cartographer, there's like that default instinct of like I always write or I always update the map when in a new area
Yes.
or something like that.
Yes, and that makes it so you do not have to keep that written log.
Right.
Uh,
But likewise, like that cooking thing, that you don't need a check for that if you have an instinct for
Exactly.
it, which is huge.
yes, you can use instincts to
Yep.
bypass checks, or rolls. If you say I always
Yeah.
scout the room, that means that doesn't scouting the room does not advance the grind.
Right. I'm probably going to do the cartographer thing since I'm the cartographer.
Okay.
And I think I'll do the cooking thing because I'm the cook.
Now the
But I do
the
have
flip
scout. I could do scout.
the other way you could approach that a cartographer instinct is always map our progress when we get in camp, and that makes it so you get a
Yeah.
free roll. You don't have to spend a
Okay.
check or advance the grind to make the cartography roll. So
Will
either way
we
you
be
want to work that.
indoors much? Cat don't on the mouse. Are we going to be indoors much?
Yeah, more than likely.
Okay, so then I might do the scouting one. Cooking is really good. But so is scouting.
Yeah, I flipped it to do the camp phase version of it. Always update my maps when we camp.
Yeah. I'm going to do scouting for now because I know right now we have a bunch of penalties to fighter due to all of our backpacks.
Yeah. I was wondering if I could do an instinct kind of based on that, like
And
When-
it's
when threatened, I always drop my dead weight to get ready
Yeah,
for a
that's
fight.
totally.
Yeah, that is a thing. Yeah, that means you will
Okay.
not you ever have your backpack on in a fight.
You won't have any penalties due to extra gear.
that is
Cat-
true. And just to clarify, we can change instincts at sessions, right?
Yes, every session you can change your
Every session. Yep.
So
Can I-
actually, since it sounds like a lot of what we're doing is over land, I might want to have not cartographer thing, but like a pathfinder type thing.
I just asked him. He said we'd be
That
mostly
might be more
indoors.
useful today.
Just
I
for
just-
today. Yeah, getting to the dungeon is going to be a thing, but it's probably only going to be one roll unless you screw it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
According to Zen, we'll be mostly indoors.
Oh, okay. So I'll keep it then. But I was just throwing that out
Yeah.
there.
So there's no role for hiding things, right? There's no stealth at all in this
Four.
game?
That's criminal.
Yep.
How do you learn new skills?
Through beginner's luck. Basically, you test an amount of beginner's tests equal to your nature rating, your untaxed nature rating, and then you learn a skill.
So if I make an instinct to hide my sack whenever there's danger,
That's a thing you can do.
I'd be hiding it, and it'd be a criminal role.
That doesn't
No,
seem
if-
like
If you're
well,
using an
like,
instinct,
if we want to like optimize things, right?
yeah, yeah. If you want to optimize things, that's probably not the best way to go. But if you're going to go that route, the instinct would trigger possibly a criminal roll, depending on the situation. Otherwise, I'd probably just say, yeah, you do it.
What if you had an instinct to always scout rooms for hidey holes? Or something like that.
I don't know if my
you
character
could,
would.
like,
That
get
would-
some other
That's
benefit.
that's totally a thing you could do, but it seems like it would be too specific to be beneficial.
I don't feel like my character is really a frontline character.
One interesting thing could be if we have someone who's good at scavenging would be whenever a room is clear, when a room is clear, scavenging. That'll every room that will give you a free
But-
scavenging test.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has scavenger. though.
Well, I
I thought
can
someone did.
I can take it and then I can start learning it through the.
True. Yeah, you don't have to have the skill to have the
That's
instinct.
true.
So yeah,
That being
I'll do
said, though,
that.
that would be a lot of complications.
This is
Yeah,
also a lot of potential.
failing the roll will give you complications, even on an instinct roll.
It just avoids the grind.
But that's the.
I thought we
Yeah.
had some of those scavengers.
Was
but-
your
okay.
specialty haggling?
Yeah. We don't want to make an instinct
Okay.
about that. That's not making any sense.
Well, there could be something about like when, like, because one of the conflicts is like riddle or something. So like you could have an instinct of like when encountering new people, always barter first, or something.
Well, I also have Orator. I guess I do have the scout skill.
Yeah.
Can I scout
my-
without being in the front lines? Like, how does that work?
Due to you scouting, you put yourself at risk for a twist if you fail.
Okay.
So really, frontline, backline doesn't have anything to do with how this works. It's if you're rolling, you're going to be in danger.
But is it helpful?
Or if
Scouting a room is
Scout?
very helpful.
scouting a room
Alright.
will tell you if there's traps, if there's something hinky going on.
So I'll say something like always make sure nothing's coming up from behind to surprise us. And that way I'm scouting and also being in the back of the party.
Well, as I said, being in the
It'll
back
still put
really
you at
isn't.
risk.
Yeah, being in the back really isn't something you have to worry about.
It doesn't
If
matter if
you're,
you're in the back.
yeah,
I mean, narratively, it's important to me.
yeah, but
Okay.
as far as marching order in your typical dungeon crawl sense, that does not exist here.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
there
I'm
is
just
no
saying,
marching
like,
order.
I took a crossbow, I got a pack full of mirrors.
You don't ever want to get anyone
Right.
near you ever.
I don't want to be near
Okay.
anybody. So I'm gonna always make
And-
sure nobody is sneaking up behind us.
Okay. Well,
That sounds
you
more like a
could-
weird perception thing and not like actively scouting.
you could also make it more broad to be better. Always be on the lookout for ambush would mean it would include both behind us and in front of us.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Always be.
Or just the simple always scout for danger. Boom.
Yeah,
That
works.
because instincts, you don't have to use them every time. You can decide when.
True. That's
So
actually very true.
if you enter a room and say I'm going to scout for danger, then you can
Alright,
do that.
fine.
But you can ignore your instinct at any point.
That seems just like
Yeah.
really bland to me, but that's fine. That's how this works. We'll do it.
Yeah,
we can change it
instinct-
every session.
Yeah, and instincts are more meant to, from the player perspective, instincts are meant to optimize the way you move through a dungeon.
Sure.
So you
They're
don't
meant to be very-
spend checks, you don't advance the grind, that kind of stuff.
It
They're very
seems
much
to
meant to
me-
be mechanically oriented.
Yeah,
more than
instincts
character
are
oriented.
heavily meta.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wish I could have that intent, but flavor it better. But yeah, okay, that's fine.
Well,
I think the best thing
flavor
would be to
comes
flavor
from-
it describing how you scout when you do scout
Yeah,
in that
exactly.
situation.
Exactly,
have
because
laborer.
if you flavor the instinct poorly, I can say in certain situations that no, that doesn't count here. So you want to make it
Yeah.
as broad as possible, so I can't screw you out of an instinct roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in
fine.
Burning Roll, you have total control over your own instinct. Okay. Well,
Got instincts?
I think, yeah.
Okay,
If we
so
are good on
goals.
instincts, then let's. Oh, I already made the goal. On the character sheet, the goal was first. It was belief, then goal, then instinct. So I already wrote my goal.
Okay, what do you got?
There is a dissonance in the song of this swamp. I will find out why.
I thought
Okay.
our goal was to like the overall thing we got to do is the whole bandit thing, right? But we don't have to have a goal in line with that. Certainly, right?
We don't have to. No.
Yeah, you don't have to. That's true. So going over how goals work. A goal includes one of the following imperatives: I will not, I must, or I must not. A goal includes an action like these: find, stop, return, rebuild, demonstrate, protect, or feed.
Actually, yeah.
Uh,
I'll change mine to
a
I
goal
must
is-
find out why.
A goal is not an immediate or simple action. I'm going to make a pie is not an appropriate goal for this game. Neither is a far-off wish, I will bring peace to the land, nor I will prove I am worthy of nobility. That's too lofty. You want to be able to complete this in a session.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the next one is: a goal is something you hope to accomplish in your next foray into the wild and dark. It's based on the scenario presented. So, examples of this: I'll determine what happened to the innkeeper and his guests. I will rescue any poor souls trapped below. I must find out or drive out the evil that has overtaken this place. I will impress my companions with bravery. I will loot this place for all it's worth, or I will track this blood trail to its source. So write your goal at the start of the session. After you've taken your job or started your journey. Use your goal as a guideline for what you're interested in accomplishing during the session. Once I know what you want to achieve, I can start throwing obstacles in that path to make it more interesting.
Okay. I have an idea for mine.
And
Yeah.
a goal is accomplished when the conditions you've written down are fulfilled during play. If there's a question, the other players and the GM decide as a group. It's not just on me. Everybody has some say there.
Yep.
Mine is I will bring these bandits their righteous judgment.
Okay. Due to the fact that we're starting 2 hours in, that might be a little
That's
lofty.
Yeah.
How about if I make a safe hiding place for my sack of loot?
That's sort of along the baking a pie lines, I think.
Yeah.
I will safeguard the treasures that I carry is a thing, because that there I can challenge that, and you can.
I mean, it's too trivial for you to challenge that, because as soon as there's a twist, you just say they're all broken.
Probably not all of them, but yeah.
A child hiding behind a tree throws a rock. It crushes all your mirrors.
Literally, the first twist that he throws at us, they're all gonna break.
That's entirely.
And there's
that's
nothing I
if-
can
if
do as
it-
a player to
If
prevent
it
that.
if it fits with the fiction, yes. Odds are I will give you a health test to avoid something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try that. Preserve my precious cargo from the whims of fate.
What about I must find these bandits' place of rest?
That will work.
Okay.
Yes, that will work.
Framed as like their lair or hiding,
Yeah. You want to find them specifically, not just the structure that they're in, like where in the structure.
Mostly, I'm just interested in finding the structure.
Okay.
But finding them is also nice.
All right.
Hmm. I'm thinking something along the lines of I will show these bandits I have a name to be feared. Or is that too?
That implies you are going to find and defeat the bandits in 2 hours,
Yeah.
which may or may not happen.
I don't know. I could like flex in front of their house or something.
Yeah, I mean there are other ways of
Intimidation.
accomplishing that goal, like standing outside of wherever you find and yelling, "I am the mighty warrior, and
Challenging
I
the
mean,
leader to a
you
one-on-one
shall
duel,
fear me." Yeah.
and then defeating them.
Yeah. Man, you'd be super embarrassed and dead.
So yeah, that there are ways of accomplishing that should time start to
Alright,
dwindle
yeah.
on us.
I'll just go with that.
Okay.
Because like it's kind of
Is my goal good for finding out the source of, or finding out why there is a dissonance in the song of the swamp? I've got stuff for that.
Again,
Or to
two
go on.
hours. 2 hours to find why this is happening. When that is
Okay.
like the campaign goal at this point.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Could be a thing. Yeah, you really want to point it to, like, okay, look at it, burning wheel. You have that goal. What's the small step?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm gonna do.
How about get into the swamp without being eaten by crocodiles?
Note to self: if we run into any bandits on the road, bring their head.
Hmm.
I don't know, how much backspace do you think a human head would take up?
I'd have
I think
to
it's
say
one
that
head slot.
probably. Yeah. Well, let's see. How much does? What's a helmet?
Yeah, it's the same as a helmet. But not really, because you can put things inside the helmet.
Yeah. Well, it's head worn. You actually can't pack a helmet. They don't say what the pack is for it.
Wow,
Um.
that doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I have an extra hand to carry it anyway.
I mean, after you cut off their head, you have an extra head to carry it.
I'm looking for something roughly head-sized that has a pack.
A helmet? Does not have a pack?
No pack. It's just
Lantern
worn.
pack 2.
Yeah, okay. So it's probably around pack 2.
Probably.
Depending on the person, of course, because somebody could have a really big head or a really small head, you know.
Yeah, you bring shrinking powder, so you make the head smaller.
Would that be like leather worker? Is that the skill you use to shrink heads?
I thought it would be voodoo, but yeah.
Taxidermist.
Alright, so everybody's good on belief, instinct, goal, all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just
Then
updating my goal, but yeah.
Okay. The last thing we do, first of all, on the bottom of your character sheet is level and benefit. You're all level 1. I did fill in what the benefit is. It's basically your class restrictions. So there's a line down there that'll tell you what you can wear, what you can wield, and if you have any special shit.
And I need to have a persona to use my nature, right?
You need to have a persona to tap your nature. You can always use your nature just to roll.
Oh, okay.
By tapping your nature, that adds your nature on top of whatever you're rolling.
Okay, cool. I'm a
But if
dwarf.
it's not one of those words in your nature, it gets taxed when you use it.
Yes. And if you
Mhm.
fail, regardless, it gets taxed.
Yep.
All right, so the final thing is details. Give your character a name if you haven't already. Under raiment, list a distinctive piece of clothing your character wears, so other people can identify your dead body when we come across it again. Choose an age appropriate for your stock. The middling age for adventurers here: dwarf 30 to 51, elf 60 to 101, human 14 to 21. Be any age you want, but those are like the optimum adventurer ages. I don't care if you're a 70-year-old human. There's not a disadvantage for being old and decrepit.
Though halfway through the campaign, you will age to death.
Yep.
Yeah, that you can. Yes, that's good. Elven Ranger
Cool.
goal there is good.
I'm going to go with a woven bronze belt.
And this is just flavor stuff.
Yeah.
Not really important. However, your raiment can be used for certain things. For example, if you have a hat, it'll help you in if you're exposed to the elements. That's a mechanical thing that hats have.
I have
scarves.
a,
Scarves are good for tourniquets or having a spare piece of cloth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a long red scarf.
I have a golden wolf brooch that I keep my cloak. It keeps my cloak clasped.
Okay, so sort of a la Witcher style.
It's
kind of
literally
thing?
on my character picture. I just
Okay.
looked for something interesting from that picture, and so you'll see it from there. It does look very witchery, but it's gold instead of silver.
I think I'm just gonna go with the traditional white tabard.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, then we
Yeah.
are done. We are ready to roll,
All right.
and we are at the top of the hour. So, do we want to take another quick 5 minutes and
Yep.
Yeah.
roll right into the adventure?
Let's do that.
Sounds
Let's
good.
do it.
All right, we're back in 5 minutes, and then we will light the torches because, of course, we're going to start at night, and we'll see how it goes.
All right.